to Truth Box. 10 years ago, life almost came to a standstill for Virali Modi after an accident. She was lying on her presumed deathbed on her body. She was in a coma, living off a ventilator. Absolutely no one thought that she would be able to trick death and come back to life so beautifully. Our guest today is fighter, activist, motivational speaker, and aspiring actress Virali Modi. Virali's efforts to make railways more accessible landed her in the 100 Women PC in 2017. Please welcome Virali Modi on this episode of Truth Box. Welcome to Truth Bombs, Virali. It is amazing to have you here, and we have seen the changes that you have brought and the work that you have done, and we are frankly amazed by it. So, thank you for coming on to Truth Bombs.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity.
So, how disabled friendly are we as a society? There are challenges in getting around with regards to transportation, etc. in India. But as a society, what is our attitude towards disability?
So if you would have asked me this question about maybe 10 years ago, I would say that we are horrible as a society. We don't have any empathy for the disabled. There's only sympathy. But now that you're asking me this question today, I want to say that I think maybe 20-30% of that has changed, maybe even more than that. Frankly, because a lot of people on wheelchairs or people that have disabilities, they're going into sports, they're taking part in the Paralympics, there's wheelchair cricket, there's wheelchair badminton, stuff like that. But there's also that 70 or 80% of people. So for example, if I'm going out on the street, I will literally see every person's head turn. Like, who is this person? And she's come out of her house, oh my god, she's an alien. So I've had that, I've seen that a lot. Even when I go to the mall, I see people turning back and looking towards me, looking at me again.
Right.
Because they can't believe that someone with a disability has come out of their house. And that also goes into infrastructure.
Right.
If we had accessible infrastructure, you would see more people with disabilities.
Right. So you were able to bring about change, positive change in around with respect to making 6 railway stations more disabled friendly. What prompted the change.org petition that you had started, and how it became a movement?
So in 2008, I wanted to go to Delhi from Mumbai, and I honestly thought that there might be a lift to get into the train. That may be foolish on my part, but I was hopeful because there was a ramp outside of the station. So that made me believe that there had to be a ramp to get inside the train. But there wasn't. So my mom was there with me, and she called 2 porters over and she asked them to lift me and put me on my allotted seat. So they were looking at me in a very disgusting and lecherous way, as if they've never seen a woman before.
Right.
They're staring at me like that, and one person comes and he lifts me from my shoulders and the other from my knees, and the guy that was holding me from my upper body, he wraps his arms around my chest and he starts groping me. And honestly, I thought it's probably a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the time, unfortunately, but it probably is a mistake. But his repetitive movements, that actually cleared all doubt, and I realized that I was being molested. But I didn't say anything. I was very embarrassed, ashamed, disheartened. I think because my country doesn't view me as a human being. If it did, then there would be accessible features. So that actually happened 2 more times, so 3 times in total, 2008, 11 and 13. And I still stayed quiet all the way until 2017. I think the turning point was in 2015, the disabled campaign that the government had launched, that started, Accessible India campaign. And then in late 2016, the RPWD bill passed.
Okay.
So in that bill it states that commercial, private and government buildings need to be wheelchair accessible,
Right.
Including transportation. They need to have a ramp. And in 2017 I found out that the then railway minister, he was launching a train called the Tejas Express, which is a non-stop train from Mumbai to Goa. And they had features for the blind and the deaf, but no features for someone that has a physical disability. I think that was a stressor, and that was a turning point, and I decided that I can't do this anymore. I cannot keep quiet, because I'm pretty sure there have been other people that have gone through this and they can't say anything about it. And so I started a campaign on change.org called #MyTrain2,
Right.
which has over 2 lakh signatures. And yeah, I mean, that's how I started it, and I couldn't be more proud of it.
That's amazing. You are seen as an inspiration, but there has to be some low moments, etc. So how do you cope?
There are obviously, I think, yeah, I mean, I do get called an inspiration a lot, and I'm also a human being. I'm not always happy-go-lucky and chirpy all the time. I do have my off moments.
Right.
And I think, and I am somebody that likes to overthink a lot of things, and that makes it worse for me. But what I do during that time is I try to divert my mind. I will watch movies, I will watch a series, or I'll play games on my phone, or I'll listen to music just to try to get that jerk back. And that's when I realized that once my mind has been diverted, I'll find a solution to my problem.
You have come to India or you'll be staying here alone for the first time.
Yes.
So
yes.
How does that experience feel?
Honestly, it feels very empowering.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when it comes to disability especially, a lot of people view disabled people as being dependent. They think that we need help all the time and we need someone to be there 24/7 around us, and that's not the case. Yes, I do have help when I need it, but I'm able to live alone, and I'm able to do things like yesterday, for example, I went grocery shopping by myself, and that was definitely eye-opening. But yeah, it's fun, it's empowering, and it just helps me realize that I have capabilities that I didn't even know I had. So it was really empowering, and I'm ready for more challenges.
Awesome. India is a marriage-obsessed society. So what have your experiences been as an unmarried disabled person, or even an unmarried girl, period?
So, funny enough, I was having a conversation with my dad today. He's like, "Shaadi kab kar rahi hai?" That was the first thing that he asked me this morning, and not getting married right now. But yeah, as a community, especially being disabled, I want to talk about that more. A lot of people have said, "Bichari, shaadi kaun karega?
Right.
Who will marry you?" But yeah, people think that someone that has a disability, they're not sexual beings, or they don't enjoy being in that, like being intimate. They don't enjoy that. That they treat us in like we're not human.
They don't see anything apart from
the disability. Yeah. And something that I really want to mention is that disability does not define the person. It shouldn't define you. But yeah, that a lot of people have said, "Shaadi kaun karega?" And it's like, if I show you the number of Tinder matches that I have, you will be shocked.
That's revelation for your dad.
Let's not show him this video.
Okay. So, there is a lot of stigma in India with disability. How is it different from, say, in the West, where you have lived for a lot of your life?
So in the West, I think it doesn't matter. Seeing someone on a wheelchair is second nature. You don't give them a second glance.
Right.
It's second nature, and everyone is really helpful there. Forgetting about the infrastructure, obviously there are many differences regarding the infrastructure, but it's normal having a disability over there, and over here it's like we're viewed as being abnormal. And so I've always, whenever someone has said or viewed me as if I am different or as if I am abnormal, I just like to say that normalcy is subjective. So you cannot say that I am abnormal and you are normal. You cannot say that, it's subjective. So yeah, I mean, definitely there's a lot of difference of thinking and difference of opinion when it comes to the stigma around disability. Over there, I know, we have therapists, sex therapists that are medically certified, and they will teach a person with a disability how they can have sex according to their disability.
Okay.
And which way it makes it easier. Over here, if I talk about sex, it's like, shh, don't say anything.
That's the general attitude.
That is the
sex.
general, yeah, it is a general attitude, but especially when it comes to someone having a disability, they can't imagine that someone on a wheelchair or someone with a disability would want to have sex.
Right. You mentioned that you like being in India, and why do you like being in India?
See, I think as a community, we're very integrated. We know each other. Yeah, there are always those aunties that talk about you in the back. That's always going to be there. But we know each other. At least I know half of the people that live in my building. I know them. I know their names. I talk to them. And yeah, in America, a lot of people are helpful. But surprisingly, I found help in one of the weirdest places, or by the weirdest people, like people that we would think are illiterate or people that we would think don't understand disability. I've gotten help from those kinds of people. Over there, I mean, I love it. There's a lot of freedom, especially in terms of movement, accessibility. There is a lot of freedom. But as a community, it's not a whole community. I don't know my neighbors. And especially because I travel a lot, I don't know anyone, and I don't know where I would like to go out to. If I shocker right here, I'm a partier, I love to party. Over here at least, I know there are 5 people that I can call up and like, chal, let's go out, let's hit the clubs. Over there, it's like transportation ka problem. I don't have my car, I don't know how to drive because meri fatti hai. So getting to one place to another, that becomes a challenge. I don't know many people over there. So it just makes sense for me to stay here, and especially because I have my career here. And I just like India, plus yeah, vada pav.
Thank you, Virali. It was amazing having you here, and more power to you. We have this short section called the rapid fire, where I'd like you to answer as quickly and as sparky as possible. So, a mission to Mars or a free trip around the world?
Free trip around the world.
Okay. No Mars.
Aliens.
So you're interested in acting, and that's where you want to build your career. So out of these 3 actresses who play these characters, which one would you like to play? Deepika Padukone's character in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, Kareena Kapoor from Jab We Met, or Alia Bhatt from Student of the Year?
Kareena, obviously Kareena.
So why? And
why? I've loved her ever since Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum came out. And Geet in Jab We Met, she has never missed a train. I've never missed a flight until one day I missed my flight, and then I had that Geet wala feeling. I had that feeling that mera Shahid mujhe milega. Lekin nahi mila.
Okay. So traveling in India or traveling in US, what do you prefer?
Traveling in India, the challenges are the best part. I love challenges and I love breaking barriers. So challenges definitely, and we have this huge ecosystem in India. I mean, and just the weather. If ठंड चाहिए तो दिल्ली चले जाओ, गर्मी चाहिए तो मुंबई आ जाओ.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yes. Thank you so much, Virali.
No, thank you.
And thank you for being on Truth Bombs and sharing your truth with us. And stay tuned for the next episode of Truth Bombs, and watch, like and subscribe.